Welcome back to another video. It's your boy, your friend, your coach, your business partner, Delano Mccrory. And today I want to talk to you about work. I want to go over what actually work looks like in your business and your real estate. And then I'm going to actually break down some of the stuff that I'm actually doing to just organize what my work look like. And then give you guys an update on the Alex Hormozi challenge. And if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's a really good video and it sets the framework of how we're going to work this month, but also for the rest of this year, and kind of a concept and mindset of where we're going and how our work actually looks. But let's narrow it down to what work actually looks like. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, and me myself included, because a lot of these videos are me just talking to myself, but also giving you guys guidance and fruits for while you build your business. But one of the main focus and one of the things that we always lack is what does our work actually look like? A lot of times when you're building businesses and you're building brands and you're building real estate, you sometimes lose track and lose focus of the work that actually needs to get done to get you to that next deal, that next sale. Now, specifically in real estate, with me, my goal has to be getting deals and then operating them well enough to create cash flow to generate for the next deal. Now, it sounds super simple when you break it down that way, but sometimes us actually doing the work is very simple. We just need to hone in on what it is we actually need to do. Now, creating deals for me in cash flow is building relationships and submitting offers and analyzing deals. Those are the three main key things that you need to actually focus in on getting to that next operation and getting to that next thing. Now, for me, in my process, I know that I need to speed that pace up a little bit because especially in my market and where I'm operating right now in the Midwest, deals are going super fast, which means I need to be even faster or find those deals that no one's kind of looking at or those deals tucked all the way in the back corner and pull those to the front so that way I can have deals to operate. Now, again, we're not making any excuses. I'm just laying the framework for how my market is working right now and things I need to do to propel myself forward. Now, when we get towards the end of the video, I'll kind of give you some tips and tricks of what I'm doing to offset that. But I really want to focus on the main set here of actually what your work looks like. Sometimes that's going to be taking calls. Sometimes that's going to be laying a framework, or it's going to be going to visit those properties and actually doing the behind the scenes stuff to get that next deal. Now, one of the key things that I've been doing that's been working a lot is creating kind of like a blueprint to walk through what I need to get done to best execute. And sometimes you want to write these frameworks in a way that someone else could read it and know exactly what to do if you were to hire someone else or bring them in. And Logan Rankin talks a lot about this. And that's where I got a lot of these concepts and these ideals is from his books and some of his podcasts. But really you want to hone in on what that work looks like. And then you want to execute it and keep executing it until you grow into a process that can't be broken or that's so easy someone right off the street could read it and do it. Now, here's the main focus. In the beginning, you're going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Like, for example, in my business, I'm doing a lot of the emails, I'm doing a lot of the calls, I'm doing a lot of the analyzing, I'm doing a lot of the property visits. Those are all jobs that you're going to have to do in the beginning. So that's why your head's going to be spinning left and right and you're going to be like, what do I actually do? Because you're going to be wearing so many hats and you're going to be doing a lot of the work that it takes to actually get your business going. But that doesn't mean that you still don't set up the processes and set up the things that you need to understand so that way when you do bring in somebody else, they can do it. So the key thing I really want you to focus in on here is what is the work that you are doing that's actually getting you to that next level. A lot of times I spend too much time actually scrolling on Zillow and some of the other real estate platforms instead of actually doing deals or making calls. And sometimes I'm putting in stuff in my spreadsheet instead of actually analyzing the deal or sending it over to my realtor to submit an offer. Now, don't get me wrong. Those small steps are important, especially in the beginning, because you're going to have to do those tedious work, but actually analyze your business and actually analyze where you're at to see how much of that is actually necessary for you to get into that next deal or get that next product or get that next sale. So I know for me, I have to really clean up the stuff that I'm doing to fill that space up with actual productive business work that's going to push me to that next deal or to that next opportunity. Now, another area where I've been slacking in and I want to get better at is networking and continuing to reach out to cold and warm leads. Now, a cold lead is something where that person has no relationship with you and you're just calling them strictly to build a relationship or to build a conversation about what it is you do. A warm lead is someone that you've already had a connection with or you've already contacted them at a previous time and you're just following up. That's one of the things I need to do better at, is actually harnessing more cold leads, but then also flourishing the warm leads. And I'm going to be trying to build out or look for some type of CRM or some type of scheduling thing, scheduling app to help me actually get a better control of timing and when to actually reach out to these people, or scheduling texts and different things like that. Now, another thing is also when it comes to scheduling and reaching out to cold leads and different things like that, look for technology that can help you in your business. I am constantly looking for something that's going to help me, just give me that small edge. Now, a lot of times this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to spend money. A lot of times there's free platforms out there, or there's free tools that you can use to actually help you form text, schedule emails, print documents, different things like that you actually need to actually get your business going. And that is something that is completely underlooked, especially if you're solo and you're beginning and you're starting by yourself. That's something that I'm heavily investing in, and I'm constantly looking for things that's going to help me when it comes to that. Now, let me just break it down again. Make sure that you're actually doing the consistent work and printing out some type of schedule or some type of workflow for you to get into a rhythm of where you want to go and the things that you want to accomplish, and getting rid of the stuff that you necessarily don't need to spend a lot of time on, or things that are distracting you when it comes to you just getting your deals done. The important thing about this is if I don't actually do the work, again, like these YouTube videos, editing and posting them, if I don't do the work, one, I don't get my cash flow. Two, I don't get my name out there in the content. And then three, I'm not consistently doing deals. And we know that the structure of the business is actually accomplishing the things that you're set out to do and actually building that pace, so that way you can have something to grow off of and something to push off of, which is ultimately going to excel you faster and faster and faster. Now, what is another thing that's super important about your business actually doing well and actually making you money and consistent cash flow is the simple fact is, outside of you actually building something for yourself, you're actually building something for the people around you. And I know I say this a bunch of times in different videos and in different contexts. I say this a lot, but it's super important. It's super crucial. If you're a smart business person and you actually want to provide value for people, you have a responsibility to actually crush your market and crush your business, so that way you can provide values, leadership, money, revenue, community building, all of that stuff for your community and where you're at. I don't care if you're watching this all the way in Europe or Australia, Canada, America, wherever you're at. You have a responsibility to be a better business person, so that way you can cultivate the things that you need to cultivate in your community and your towns and your countries. And it's super important that you do that, because you have a responsibility to do so. And again, that's my goal. I'm not just building a real estate company or a YouTube channel for myself, but I'm building it for you, the person watching right now, but also my local community and the people that I want to help and build for. So if you don't take your business seriously and you don't start to hone in on the work that you need to get done on a day-to-day basis, so that way you can accomplish more, you're really doing yourself a disservice. And when it comes to competition, the competition of business, you got to understand that there's a lot of ruthless competition out there. And if you want to compete in this market, like I'm assuming you want to because you're watching this video, you have to be above board. You have to put in the work and you have to be proficient in it. And you can't just do any work, but you got to do the stuff that's actually going to get you better and get you more reps for the next thing to come. Now, I'm super glad that you guys are watching this video, and I haven't forgot about giving you guys the extra tips towards the end when it comes specifically to real estate and not just business. But if you're watching this far, go ahead and smash that like button and comment something that you want to work on or something that you feel like you need to do more in your business. Let's keep going. Now, this is the part where I want to give you guys specific things that I'm doing and how I'm narrowing down on the work that I need to do specifically for real estate. Now, I talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but one of the main key factors is me acquiring faster speeds so that way I can accomplish more deals. So how am I doing this? One, instead of waiting, and again, I learned this from David Patrick, but instead of waiting, have a do now mentality. If you come across a property and you have a couple of minutes, put that property into your spreadsheet or put that property on some piece of paper and do some quick calculations so you can see if the deal is even worth it. And then after you do your quick math and your spreadsheet, you can actually begin to form something for your contract to get sent out. Now, if you realize that the deal is good, have a pre-planned contract where you could just fill in the numbers so that way you don't have to change your contract every time. Change where the address is, change the purchase price and the different amounts that you need, and then get it sent out quick. Either send it to the owner or send it to your realtor that's going to help you, or your attorney, depending on what state you're in. That's one of the methods. The second one is if I come across somebody that has a property or they're talking, I'm going to always have my business card prepared and ready to go. But then I'm also going to be more of an active listener to see what it is, the reason they want to sell or why they're getting rid of this property. For example, if I'm talking to someone and they want to get cash now for their property, I can't offer them a seller financing deal. I can, if I structure it right and give a down payment or something that they may need or want, then I can kind of create the deal towards that. If a person's saying, hey, they want to sell, but they want long-term cash flow, then I do a longer seller financing deal. But I have to be able to listen and actually react quickly to what they're saying instead of just trying to pitch or constantly talk to them about what it is they want. Now, the other portion that I'm working on is, again, I mentioned it to you guys to do, is actually get a workflow of the things that you need to do. I write down my top 3 things that I need to get a deal done, and I focus specifically on those. I also take my buy box, and if you don't know what a buy box is a list of materials or things that you want in a particular property. For example, I'm doing multifamily. So I write a lot of the multifamily things that I want, like 15 doors and in a certain area for a certain price point. That's a buy box. So I'm really narrowing down my buy box so that way I can quickly look at properties and see, does it fit my buy box or not? And then if it does or doesn't, then I move on. I'm not really doing a lot of rehab. So I tend to pass on the properties that need a lot of rehab or something that isn't just slight value add, but a whole redo and renovation. Later on, I might dabble into that or might get into some of those deals. But right now, I'm focusing on turnkey properties with slight value add. So those are a couple of things that I can do to make it faster and make it quicker. Now, another free tip is watch what you're doing with your time. This is a key thing that I've been doing, is I've been cutting out a lot of distractions or stuff that I don't need to spend my time on. So if I have a couple of minutes or an hour before an event or before I go to bed, I tend to try to read as many real estate books as I can. If I'm not reading my Bible or reading scriptures for the day, I tend to try to pick up a book that involves real estate, that involves operations, that involves leadership, so I can stay focused on what it is I'm doing. I also try to cut out a lot of TV watching and other stuff like that to focus on videos like YouTube and stuff that is going to actually give me more knowledge when it comes to renovations or when it comes to operations or when it comes to real estate in general. So try to slide in every now and then those key elements that you feel like you're lacking or you need. Are you selling something, and can you take a couple of minutes to watch a sales video or listen in on a sales call that's going to give you ammunition for your next sale call? Are you designing something or baking something for your actual business? Can you watch a baking video or a product video to actually give you an idea of what it is that you need to do better on your next sale or on your next operation? Those are the small key things that we can focus on to really push us forward to get us actually locked in on the work that we need to do. Look, this year is already moving pretty fast. So you have an opportunity to look yourself in the eye and say, what is the work that you're going to do? Don't look back 6 months from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now and say, hey, I could have done a lot more. If you focus now, just a little bit by little bit, and it's going to take time for you to build up the endurance, to build up the work hours, to build up the consistency that you need to actually make it seem like you're doing it an overnight success. But start now. Build those consistencies, build those options, build those hardcore rules so that way you can move to the next thing quicker and quicker and quicker. And that's a lot of what I'm doing to propel myself forward and get to the next thing. And I want you to come with me. So in order for that to happen, you got to do the work and you got to actually crush it. Now, for a quick update for the Alex Hormozi challenge, we have been doing great about 50% of the time. I'm going to be honest. Some of the days have just been super tough to hit that 12 hours. Again, not making any excuses. I'm just being honest with you because I want you guys to know exactly where I'm at. A couple of days we've done way more than 12 hours and we've actually hit our metrics again. But the rest of this time is going to be focused on actually crushing those 12 hours and staying focused, putting away the distractions and linking in and getting those 12 hours in. Now, if you've still been doing it and you've been doing it super strong and you made it to this, I want you guys to tag 12 hours and tell me what kind of work you're doing to actually get everything done. Listen, go out there, create businesses, comment anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to see in a video. And as always, you know what to do. Let's get to work. Have a great day and let's get after it.